evening everybody. Welcome to Wednesday night's live stamping session. Thank you to everyone who joins me this evening. If you're watching back on YouTube, my name is Stacey Marsh. I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator here in the UK, and this is one of my Facebook Live replays. So I hope you've all had a lovely day. We're past the midweek point of the week, which makes me very happy. We have 2 days left of term. Life couldn't be better. Hi to everyone as you're joining. I'll try and keep track of comments tonight. I've got you all on my iPad next to me, so hopefully I can chat along to you. Hi Snowy Lady. Yeah, we've still got snow, lots and lots of snow here. Girls are very happy. It was snowing nearly all day. All of the new stuff has just turned to slush, so garden still looks pretty, but the snowman is quickly melting. So tonight I wanted to share with you a few ombre techniques. I really enjoy ombre styles, and I've shown you a few different ways of creating ombre backgrounds, but tonight I wanted to show you a different way of creating ombre techniques with your stamping. So what I'll do is I'll just quickly spin my camera around so you can see my desk, and we will make a start. So bear with me everybody. Okay, so you should all be able to see my desk now, hopefully anyway. So this is the card design I've put together for us this evening. And I'm going to do 2 different styles of this card. So I have used, this is a really old stamp set, but it is still current, it's in the main catalogue. I've used this lovely heart stamp here, which has got a stripe design on it. And I have stamped in 3 different colours to create that little ombre style. So I've used Poppy Parade, Pumpkin Pie and Daffodil Delight for that. So I'm going with the brights selection of colours today. If you're following my February Creative Prompt Challenge, today is all about brights. So another couple of colours that I've used, I'm going to use as well on a different design. I've got Bermuda Bay, Coastal Cabana, and I've got Pool Party, but that is from the Subtles. So we will make a start. I will replicate this design first, and then we can move on to something else. So to start with, I have got a plain basic white card base. This one is a book fold, this one is a tent fold, so it's up to you which style of fold you prefer. My go-to is probably the tent fold. I have a Poppy Parade background piece, and I have a basic white layer, which is the piece that we're going to do our stamping on tonight. Okay. So to start with, you just need that piece of white that you're going to stamp on. And I'll just grab my stamps. So in here, I'm going to use 2 different stamps. I've got this lovely stripy one, and I've got this teeny tiny little heart as well. I'm just going to give those a bit of a clean, because I don't think I cleaned them when I put them away. Very naughty. This is a stamp scrub if you've not seen one before. The idea is that you wet one side with some stamping mist, make sure that's nice and damp, and then all you do is you rub your stamp on the wet side to give it a little clean, and then you dry it on the dry side. So the stamping mist will condition your stamps and keep them in good shape. And the stamp scrub itself, it won't leave any fibres. A lot of people will clean their stamps with wipes, and I used to do that before I joined Stampin' Up. I would use baby wipes all the time, but actually what wipes do is they will leave teeny tiny little fibres on your stamp, and you can't help that. It's just the way the wipes are made, whereas with the stamping scrub you don't get any fibres coming off onto your stamp. So it keeps them in really good condition. So we've got nice clean stamps, and we'll be using that a little bit more this evening. So to start with, we've got our lovely piece of basic white, and I'm going to start with the darkest colour at the top, which is Poppy Parade. Evening to you, Michelle from Australia. Lovely to have you on tonight. Colette, loving the new nails. Thank you. I needed to do something to brighten my hands up a bit. So I'd painted them this afternoon and I've chipped one already. Sigh. I used to have them gelled all the time, but since we've been in lockdown, obviously we can't do that. But I'm looking forward to having them done again. So to start with, just inking up your stamp nicely, making sure you've got good ink coverage, and then quite simply we're going to stamp about a third of the way down the card, and I'm just moving the stamp around every time so that it doesn't look too generic. And the trick with ombre, what I find, is that nothing is really in a straight line. So we're not trying to create stripes of colour, we're trying to create gradients. It's a posh word for a Wednesday evening, isn't it? You can tell I've been doing literacy today. So to do that, we're going to muddle in the next colour as we move down. And then we'll give this a little clean. Evening to you, Louise. Thanks for hopping on tonight. So the next one we're going to use is pumpkin pie. And then you kind of muddle the colours in. So we're going to start by having that orange kind of muddled in with the red. And then again, we want to muddle in the yellow. So we'll stop there. And I'll probably put on a bit more red than I did on the first design. But hey, we'll just go with it. And then the next one is Daffodil Delight, and I like to do my stamping with one stamp at a time, and then I'll go back in and I'll put the smaller stamp on. So here we go with the yellow. Okay. So you can slowly start to see gradients of colours kind of mixing in, and this is where I think it all comes together. You take your smaller stamp and you fill in those gaps, and you take the colour up a little bit more. Okay, so that's our yellow. Excellent news, Louise. Your parcel is now at Stanford Le Hope. Brilliant. That's great news. I've heard of quite a few parcels arriving in the last few days, which is lovely to hear. We'll just move on to our orange now. Or pumpkin pie, I should say. And then lastly we have this lovely red Poppy Parade, which is actually my least used red colour. I tend to gravitate more towards real red, but when I use this I do like it. Just following it, filling in those gaps. Oh, left my stamp behind. Okay, so I am quite happy with that. Oops, my stamp has fallen off my block. Okay, so once we have done that, we can pop this on our background piece now. I'm just going to stick that down with some white glue. Like so. And then we can pop that on our card front. Like so. So let me know what you think of that. Now I am quickly running out of Stampin' Dimensionals, so I'm going to make my own. This is with the foam adhesive sheets. So I want to stick this on. Just to raise it up a little bit. Someone's put, I actually didn't think I would like the cling stamps because I love them so much easier than the photopolymer because of the foam. I tend to swap. Sometimes I prefer the cling, sometimes I prefer the photopolymer. It depends what type of stamp it is. If they're stamps you have to layer over each other, then I absolutely prefer the photopolymer. But I do find the cling stamps a little bit easier to use. So, other comments. Denise has put, she loves that. Thank you, Denise. That's lovely. Morning to you, Donna from Australia. You've come in late. How did I get the ombre look with my stamping? Ooh, good question. So, I've stamped in 3 different colours. Very, very simple technique. I've started with my Poppy Parade at the top. And then I've stamped with my Pumpkin Pie next. And then I've stamped with Daffodil Delight. And I've stamped the large images first. And then I've gone back over and stamped the smaller image, and it's just quite simply a small heart, a medium heart from this meant to be stamp set, and a teeny tiny little heart. So quite a simple stamping effect. And then we're now going to add in a little bit of wow, because we love a bit of wow, don't we? So over here I'm going to use the Always dies. So these are in the mini catalogue, the January to June mini catalogue. And these are a little bit like, if you remember, the Peace and Joy dies that were in the autumn catalogue. Really, really handy dies, and they layer together. So we're going to cut these out, and I'm going to use my mini cut and emboss machine because it's so cute. The more I looked, then I realised just 3 different colours. I know, it looks more complicated than it is, doesn't it? So I've just got a paper cut on my finger, lovely. So I'm going to cut the outline from Basic Black, because as you know, I do love a little bit of monochrome in my crafting and in my home and in my wardrobe. Anything really. Love a bit of black and white. So I'm cutting the detail out of Basic White, okay, and I'm cutting the outline from Basic Black. Evening, Mum. Mum's just joined in. 7:15 AM and already 26 degrees Celsius where you are, Leslie. Enjoy that sunshine today. Soak it all up. I can't wait for the sun to shine here. And Monique has just joined us. Evening, all. Lovely to have you with us tonight, Monique. Gina's put, hi all, I'm late. That's okay. Better late than never, my darling. Thanks for the pretty video earlier. In Western Washington State, we may get snow today. Exciting. I bet you get a lot more snow than we get. We only seem to get a little bit, but the girls still love it. We make the most of it. Okay. So, I'll just pop these out and then I'll explain what's going on. So this is the outline. So the outline we can pop on quite simply with some dimensionals just to raise. I'm going to put that down flat because we've already got this raised and we don't want to put too much height on it. Okay, so we're going to pop that on the right hand side. And then the word love is separated into 2 parts. You've got this beautiful script font L, and then the rest of it is in one piece. When I first die cut it, I thought, oh, it's broken, what have I done? I've done something wrong. But no, it's just the way it is. And then this layers up like so. So you get a beautiful shadow effect. And like I said earlier, it's a little bit like the Peace and Joy dies from the mini catalogue. Mr. Stampin' Up, if you're listening, can we have more dies like this, please? I am a big fan. So we are due to get a new annual catalogue in May, and we demonstrators get a little sneaky peek of that next month. Can you believe? Very excited about that. Oh, I've missed a piece. We can expect 5 new colours, and I'm sure lots of gorgeous new inspiration. Okay, so we have love going on our card now, and then with the always dies, there of course is a stamp set that goes with it. That looks like this. So we've got, so the 2 dies you get love and you get always. So what you then get is all the sentiments that go with that. So you so love you so very much, love you more, together always, with love, and etc, etc. And you get the lovely flowers as well. And the flowers go with the DSP, the True Love DSP, which you get lovely patterns like that. I'm not going to use that though. So we now need to decide which one we have. So I've chosen on this one, Love You. So on this one, I think I'm going to do Love You More. And I love this sentiment. So quite simply, we're going to mount that on our block. Now, this is a photopolymer stamp set. And then I have some scrap Whisper White. And then we're going to ink up our stamp with some Memento. And we can stamp that. Lovely. And then I'm going to cut that into a little strip. I wasn't sure whether to heat emboss this or to just go with the white, and I went with the white because I didn't want to take anything away from the embossing. But what I am going to do is stick that down with some dimensionals. Okay. I'm going to use the mini ones. Now I managed to stick that to my grid paper. Okay, so Love You More. So how cute is that little card? I love that little card. It's super bright, it's super fun. And then all we need to do is just pop a piece inside, but I am going to do a little bit of stamping on there to bring it all together. I'm going to have a little red heart here. Just create a little bit of ombre in here as well. Oh, I've used orange there. Whoops. Silly me. I'm sure no one will notice. Oh dear, my stamp has lost its stick now. That's better. It's because my block is wet. That's better. I wonder if I can get that red over that one. Let's see if I can do it. If not, but hey, I did it. Phew, I'm happy with that now. Love this card, but I've already made Gary his. Oh, bless you. I take it you're talking about Valentine's Day, Bev. I might actually give these to the girls. I'd love to say I've made Darren one, but we don't celebrate it. It's bad, isn't it? We've already had the conversation. Have you got me anything? No. Have you got me anything? No. Okay. It's terrible, isn't it? Okay, so there we have our first finished card of the evening. I've created a little bit of an ombre design with those love hearts, and then I've created the layered sentiment with the always dies. So let me know what you think, and we'll move on to our second card of the evening. I'll just have a little clear down because it's starting to feel like I'm crafting on a postage stamp. Okay, so for the next card I have gone with a different colour combination, and I've got the same combination of card. I've got a white card base, I've got a Bermuda Bay coloured background layer, a smaller layer of basic white, and one for the inside. So we're going to start with just the outside piece, and I'm going to use this stamp set. Probably thinking, what on earth is she doing with that stamp set? And I'm going to use this one. Okay, so this again is a super old stamp set. I think it's about a year old now, but it is in the main catalogue. And I'm going to go, should we go with that one? Let's go with that one, and we'll go with this one. So I'm going with this one here and this little dot. Oh, thank you, Monique. Love your nails, bless you. I think I will be taking it off tomorrow though, because they're already peeling. I do miss a good manicure. Okay, so we're going to put our stamp set to one side, and we're going to start with our colour combination. I've got Bermuda Bay, Coastal Cabana and Pool Party. Love those colours. We're going to start with our darkest colour. And I'm going to use a Stampin' mat. Because this is a photopolymer stamp, you've got no, there's no foaminess to push against. So you can sometimes not get a great image. So I'm going to use this Stampin' mat just so I've got something to push against. Okay, so then starting at the top, and with this stamp there is a little bit of texture built into it. Okay, we're going to stamp along at the top this card. And then we're not going to, we've not done that all in a straight line. Oh, let's put one up there actually. That looks a bit blank. What am I doing? So that's our first layer of colour. Our next layer of colour is going to be Coastal Cabana. So this will be just a little bit lighter. Not massively. You just get a little different tone. Okay. You can see it changing ever so slightly. Okay. And then this is where you should see the biggest difference with the Pool Party stamp. So this is actually from our Subtles range. Got a hair. This is a new ink pad, so it will look better once it's dried. And this is a much more subtle ombre effect than we had before. So now we're going to go in with these dots, and I like these dots. And all I'm doing is kind of moving my stamp around so that it fits in that space. Go to our next colour. Just filling in those gaps like so. And then our last one will go back to Bermuda Bay. That's it. So this is a very different look to what we had on the first card. And I'm happy with that. This technique makes you look at your stamps differently. It really, really does. I had a really good look at my stamps before I did this, and I purposely went for something that was very, very different. So now let's pop these together. So that is a much more of a subtle ombre look. We will bring this all together in a moment. And again, I'm going to put that on with some foam pads. And this is where there really is no waste with these foam adhesive sheets. Stuck. Let me just take this mat back out, that's better. And then this can go on the front like so. So with this one we're going to do something a little bit different. We're going to go with a bit of a banner, I think. So let's go with Hello Fabulous. Love that. A different block, and we will get a little, let's go with a little die, shall we? See what we can find in here. So in the dies that go with this stamp set, we've got this one here. Yeah, let's have that. Let's go for that. First of all, we want to stamp it. Let's have this one. So I'm going to heat emboss this. And again, it's my standard black and white. But it will really make that background kind of pop. Where is my white embossing pad? There it is. So, if ever you get any embossing powder that creeps onto your card before you heat it, just take a paintbrush and just wipe that off. Okay, and then we'll just heat that to get that to set. all done. So you know it's set when it goes nice and glossy and it's really bright. Okay, so now we can take our die and we can pop that on like so. Before we run that through, we will just add some washi tape so that that doesn't move. I'm trying to get that nice and centered. One of the things I like to do with cards like this is to just create the backgrounds like that, just have a stock of those. I always have to make lots of thank you cards to send to customers, and then you can just add your sentiments at a later date. So you could do a whole sheet, whole A4 sheet of that sort of pattern, or a one sheet wonder style, and then keep them all to one side, and then when you need them just add your sentiments. So now we can pop this out. So carefully peel off your washi tape. Okay. And then just pop that out, which it doesn't want to come out. There we go. Nice and snug in there. There we have it. So this die, you've got a lovely bit of stitching around the outside, and then quite simply we can just pop that on there. You can by all means put a little bit of twine underneath it, but this is just a very, very simple card design. And I think that's lovely. Just a little hello fabulous, and we are done. If you wanted to, you could add a little bow. I think I've got a bow in here that I've already tied somewhere. No, but I've got a little bit that I've got cut up already. Linen thread, I think, really does just lift a project. It's not very expensive, but it just adds a little bit of detail, and it's neutral as well, so it goes with everything. Okay, so there we have it. Just need to add a piece inside. And I am going to add just going to add a few little dots to finish. Let's just put them in the corners like so. So it doesn't have to be a massive amount of detail. I just like to have something on the inside of my cards. So there we have it tonight, guys. We have two ombre style cards. Very, very different, but same technique. So for the love card, I've used 3 different colours. So I've used Poppy Parade, Pumpkin Pie and Daffodil Delight from our Brights collection. And all I've done is I have stamped 3 different layers, integrated them as I can, just to create that gradient of colour, so from dark down to light. And then in this one I've used 3 similar shades of colour. So I've used Bermuda Bay, Coastal Cabana and Pool Party. Now bear in mind my Pool Party stamp is brand new, so it's quite a dark ink at the moment, but you do get a little bit, you get a subtle ombre style on that one. Stamp sets that I've used, I've gone a bit old school tonight, so on the blue card I've gone with Dress to Impress, and I've used this little splodge image and these dots. And on the love card I've used Meant to Be, and I've used this stripy heart and this small heart down here. So I hope you've enjoyed my cards this evening. I'm quite enjoying the technique side of things. It's nice to show you more than just new stamp sets and new products. And it's always good to use some old things you have in your stash. One of the things I'm looking at starting is a Stampin' surgery, which I've had the inspiration from another demonstrator. I forget the person's name, I'm so sorry, but I'll try and find it. And what she does is she holds a monthly event where you kind of bring along your old stamp sets, or you sort of say, what would I do with this? Or maybe just show a little bit of love to those things that we've all got on our shelf that we haven't used for a little while. We used to love once upon a time, but new things have popped along and they have taken over. So keep an eye out for that. I'll hopefully be starting that in March, and that'll be lovely. It'll be a lovely way to connect with you all, because I will do it as a live Zoom rather than a Facebook Live as well. So that's it for me tonight, guys. Thank you so much for spending some of your Wednesday evening with me. It's always a lovely, lovely time of the week for me. I am off to write my blog post for tomorrow now. And then tomorrow I've got a whole day of filming ahead of me, because I had all my product arrive now for all my kits. So some kits have gone in the post already for my mini class, and my monthly product class should hopefully be in the post by Friday. So yeah, if anyone has any questions about the products I've used or techniques, please do get in touch. It's always nice to connect with you. And don't forget, all of these products are available to purchase from my online store now. The link is at the top of my Facebook page. So have a great few days, guys, and I will speak to you. Well, I will see you tomorrow morning, live, of course, for another Thursday morning live. It's always a quick one on a Thursday morning. No idea what I'm going to make yet, but I will have a little play early tomorrow. So that's at 10 tomorrow, and then my next live is at 8:30 on Sunday. So I look forward to speaking to you all very, very soon. Thanks for joining me tonight, guys. Take care. Bye for now.